Can you believe that the world's strongest woman is actually a man? Just today, Jamie Booker, dressed as a woman, won the title of World's Strongest Woman, beating second Thompson. Videos show Andrea clearly dissatisfied with the woman, having trained her entire life only to lose to a man wearing a sports bra, a complete violation of fair competition principles. A female weightlifter posted a video stating, "There are fundamental differences in the physiological structure of male and female athletes."
What's up, Taters? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. So I am going to talk about the biological male that has no shame and decided to compete because he is, of course, female dog made. I don't want to use any profanity. To enter into a female strong woman competition and then I would. Dude, this is just so pathetic. so pathetic. But good news is that he was disqualified and they gave the trophy to the second place winner who was upset. And I do believe the fact that she was upset and the rest of the women were like cheesing, caca, and grinning. You know, I guess they was like, we better write this wrong. So let me read a couple of the interesting stories for you. I'm going to show you the video. Then I'm going to show you the reaction. Hardly any bad reaction for the most part. 90%. You're going to have the commies and the progressives and the libtarbs and the bad feminists are like, this is not right. Train women are women. So these clowns. This is BS. Trans athlete wins 2025 World's Strongest Woman contest. Imagine being a biological male saying, I want to be the strongest woman in the world. Man, these people are crazy. Let me blacken this out for a second. Many were outraged after the 2025 World's Strongest Woman competition awarded its gold medal to a man identifying as a woman. American contestant Jamie Booker, who admitted in 2017 video that he is a trans woman, beat the UK's Andrea Thompson at the event in Arlington, Texas. Thompson was immediately incensed over losing to a transgender opponent after Booker was handed the win. By the way, she didn't find out that this was a man until the finals. So once she made it to the finals, she was like, hey, somebody had told her like, hey, that person that you're competing with in the finals, yeah, that's a man. That's a dude. So Thomas walked away from the podium saying, this is BS, and the Daily Mail reported. So let's go ahead and watch that video, and then we'll go into some more. Here we go right here. Here's the video. That's what you're supposed to do. If more women did this, we could have stopped this whole thing of men going into female spaces, going into women's sports. Could have stopped that long time ago. Shame the women who find this acceptable. Shame the women who allow this to happen and open the doors. And then basically get rid of these men. And then just say, no. If you got to compete, then compete in a trans category. Here's the thing. If you was to really create a trans category, these people would not even join it. It's just that the weakest men compete in female sports. These men who are mentally unstable, who are just, I think, want to get revenge on women by basically taking trophies, taking scholarships that belong to women. And the left has lost their mind. That's one thing I do appreciate about Donald Trump winning the elections, is that if Kamala Harris would have won, then we know that it wouldn't have stopped this. We had to, this had to be the norm until we get a president that will say, you know what? No. Women have to have their own sports without biological men. Now, one of the strong women, her name is Rebecca. She was basically voicing against it, and she's a 3-time winner. And even, I want you to understand, This is a 3 times world champion winner of world sports. I mean, of the strongest woman. Okay, the world's strongest woman sports. And she doesn't even look anywhere near than this guy. But just look at this huge thing. Look at him. Like, look at this. Look at this thing. All wide like a big old refrigerator. And here you have a woman. This is a biological woman who won 3 times. She's a 3 times world strongest woman winner. And she just had to speak up about it. But I'm going to let some other people speak up about it too. And what they have to say is really, really educational and informational. So let's listen to them right now.
Did you guys know the world's strongest woman is actually a man? Well, it was for about half a day anyway. And you can see the second place person thinking this is BS and just... And instead of caving and being like, oh, we accept everyone that wants to compete like every other sport seems to do, they actually stood up for the female athletes and removed that person named Jamie Booker from the roster so they can no longer compete against any of the women at any point in time now. They said Jamie Booker misrepresented critical information to the officials and judges before the competition. So I guess maybe they lied about being a woman. And they say here that they were unaware of the fact ahead of the competition. We have been urgently investigating since being informed. An attempt has been made to contact the competitor involved, but a response has not been received. Had we been aware or had this been declared at any point in time before during the competition, this athlete would not have been permitted to compete in the women's open category. And they've already received hate on Instagram from this happening, as you can see right here. It is nice to see there are organizations out there that do want to stand up for women's sports.
Okay, so apparently I missed the memo because the world's strongest woman competition just crowned a dude. Andrea Thompson, poor Andrea Thompson, this British mom worked her entire life. She's a record lifter, built like she could bench press my entire HOA. She loses by 1 single point, which is pathetic to the man who actually won, Jamie Booker, who was born male. Jamie, I don't know, okay? Like, hello, if I show up to a man's event, y'all would be calling security if I won, like for real. And then plot twist, the organizers were like, oh wait, our own rule actually says sex at birth. Ooh. So they quietly yanked back the title and handed it to Andrea like, oopsie, our bad. Don't say anything. Women shouldn't need a scandal, a riot, or a biology lecture for fairness. Anyways, go get you some swag that just says biology is biology and you can't change it. Common sense matters.
Great news for your blue-haired cousin. A man just won the World's Strongest Woman competition in Texas. The apparent winner forced Andrea Thompson, who walked off the podium angrily and appeared to say, "This is bullcrap," while the winner celebrated. 3-time winner Rebecca Roberts has claimed that no one, including the event organizers, knew that the winner was actually a man. Which is weird because usually when you're running the World's Strongest Woman competition, you'd think that is this person a woman would be on the checklist somewhere, like, you know, in between, do we have a podium and did someone bring trophies? The good news is that women's sports are finally getting the attention they deserve. The bad news? It's because men are winning them.
A biological man just won the strongest woman in the world. The woman to his left is the one that should have won, and you can see clearly how disgusted she's really mouthing the words, "This is BS, can we go now?" The man that grabbed the trophy, born a man, now transgender, is Jamie Booker. And here's a video of him talking about the award.
Now that I've had a moment to come home and shower and get away from the noise for a minute, I wanted to express a very heartfelt thank you to everyone that has supported me over the past.
But not so fast. The title was actually stripped from him, rightfully so. The Strongman Games released a statement saying, had they known that this person was a biological male, they wouldn't have let him compete in the first place. So now they crowned it to the woman that was in second place, who knew she won, who is Andrea Thompson, who won in 2018, and now she is the strongest woman in the world. We're not asking for much. We just don't want biological males in female sports. We don't want them in female restrooms, and we don't want them in the locker rooms. And at the end of the day, it's for the safety of these women, and specifically the little girls. They don't need to be exposed to that kind of stuff at a young age. A biological man.
The winner of the World's Strongest Woman competition in Texas this week was stripped of the title after it turns out that she was a he. Jamie Booker was originally given the title after winning the event this week, beating out runner-up Andrea Thompson, who can be seen on video afterwards saying, "This is bull." Turns out, she was right. Booker admitted in a 2017 video that he's actually a man, but competition organizers say they had no idea when he enlisted in the event, saying that their rules stipulate that a competitor has to compete based on their biological sex. After the truth came out, Booker was disqualified. See, this really isn't hard, and women's weightlifting just proved it. No woman should have to sacrifice her sports, her accomplishments, or her privacy to men. And for every other sport out there that's still forcing women to compete against mediocre dudes who can't hack it on the men's team, take note. This is how it's done.
The second place winner for a World's Strongest Woman competition stormed off furious after a trans woman won instead of her. Now this all took place during the World Finals, and you can see as they're posing to take the picture, the runner-up is standing there and "Can we go?" before eventually just stalking off upset. The funny thing is, the picture that was taken for all the winners was happening just moments before she stormed off stage, and as you look at the picture, all the other women are smiling until you get to her, and you can tell she is pissed off. Now she says the biggest reason she's upset is because she was kept in the dark that this person was transgender up until the finals before it was finally revealed. Not only that, but there are rumors going around that the trans woman who ended up winning the competition didn't even tell the event organizers, and they only found out after they found her old YouTube video where she announced that she was transgender. Now it is a well-debated issue whether trans people should or should not be able to compete in sports, but I think we can all agree hiding the fact that you're transgender just so you can enter into a sports competition and bypass any rules and regulations about being transgender should never be allowed. So I get why the runner-up for the World Finals felt like she was gypped when she didn't get the championship.
And there you have it, taters. This is so crazy. I cannot believe I'm living in a time where this is acceptable. And this was the norm. It was the norm to allow men, biological men, to cosplay as women and get into our spaces, get into our locker rooms, get into our bathrooms, get into our schools and our shelters. However, if anybody want to know who I blame liberal women. I blame women on the left because women are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers to our spaces. And the only way men like this can come in is if women open the door. And we know that the ones with the pink little hats are the ones that have opened the doors to these predators. And finally, just finally, things are beginning to go back to order. I think when we look back at this 10 years from now, I do believe that the new generation that's coming after Alpha are going to look at this and go, for real? Y'all thought that men could compete with women and not beat them? Like, crazy times. But I'm not going to make this video long. I did want to talk about it, but let me know what you think by leaving a comment below this video. Don't forget to give me a like. Let me know what you think about this madness. I mean, California, Maine, and Washington State seems to be the last three states that are hanging on to trans biological men going into female spaces and entering female sports. So when do you think they will finally fold? I love to hear what you got to say. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, taters.